Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. TGIF. It is finally Friday. Thank God. Well, actually, no, not thank God for that, because it means I don't get to see you guys for 2 days before we kick things back up again next week for the morning report. So never mind. Listen, I just got off the phone with my sister. It was a great convo and stuff, but I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. As you guys know, I've been trying to sell my condos in Canada, but the market is just not on my side this year. And so I think if they don't go by the end of this month, I'm going to have to turn them back into rentals. And I'm just really disappointed about that, because I was hoping to have like a little like summer, winter home this year. And it's starting to look like that's not going to happen. So I'm trying to cope. So forgive me today. Very, very upsetting news, but what can you do? Anyway, it's so nice to have you guys here for another episode of The Morning Report. We've got Gala, Paprika, Kristen, Ronnie, Ramster. How are you feeling, Ramster? Are you feeling better today? I sure hope so. We've got Tadisha, Cami, Ali, Becky, Jaleesa's here as well. Jasmine, Brittany, Malen. Oh, what does Jalisa have to say? Aldimi, oh, you're going to Paris. Okay, would you look at that? I'm so excited. Yes, please. Is this on Instagram? Okay, I'll have to check it out. Wow, this is so exciting. We've got Milana, Laura, Venetia, Lauren, Aaron. So nice to have y'all here. Shout out to everybody watching from the bushes as well. Hey, Leah, hello, Miss Fluffy, Trin. Happy birthday, Trin. So happy that it is your birthday. And you know, you get to be the first person that we do the birthday song for. Where is that birthday song? I have to find it, because I know I did download it somewhere. Oh my God, we got a birthday, you guys. We were talking about this in a past episode of The Morning Report when we were celebrating. Whose birthday were we celebrating? It was Gwen's birthday. I was like, oh my God, I have to like come up with a birthday song and everything. Like, oh my God, we have to do it. So we've got our first birthday for the official birthday song, and that is none other than Trin Tran. And I'm loading it up right now, and I'm really, really excited to go ahead and play it for you. So here goes, you guys. Please help me wish Trin Tran a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And you guys, please keep telling me when it's your birthdays, because I'm so excited to get to use this. It's so freaking fun. I love a good birthday. So good morning, B-Wise, Becky, Trip, KK, Kahara, Lex, everybody. Thank y'all so much for being here. We've got so much to discuss. And once again, happy birthday, Trin. We got so much to discuss in today's episode of The Morning Report. Guys, you know how yesterday I told you that I had DM'd Nathan Griffith's wife? She responded to me. So I got an exclusive, worldwide exclusive, straight from May, about the state of their marriage and how this whole thing worked out. Because the reason I DM'd her was because Nathan had posted something like, you know, or she had posted something on his behalf about like her loyalty and how marriage is sacred and blah, blah. I'm like, if marriage is sacred, why does your husband have a girlfriend type thing, right? So we're going to get into that. Very sad news in Kelly Clarkson's world. Her ex-husband, the father of her children, has passed away. And we were just talking about her canceling her Vegas residency yesterday. And so when I saw that news, I was quite literally shocked by it. We've got V. Rivera, who is Kale Lowry's inaugural baby mama, Joe Rivera's wife. Well, she's kind of hinting at the fallout of her relationship with Alessandra, who she used to have the Vibing and Kind of Thriving podcast with. And we also have to talk about Sha'Carri, Olympic athlete, Olympic winner, pushing up on her boyfriend at the airport. I think that's the story we're going to start off with, okay, you guys, because it was very upsetting to watch this video. Take a look at her, follow him around, shoving him. And the fact that nobody really even cared at all. Can you imagine a man running around shoving a woman and no one reacting, especially in an airport or something like that. There were like security agents. They had just passed, like, when you have to like show them that you have 100 milliliters or less in your bottle or whatever, like they were in that area. Those agents were all there and nobody reacted. I actually felt really, really terribly for her boyfriend in this moment. Take a look at the video and we're going to talk about it on the flip side. That not one single person who worked there did anything to try and intervene in the situation. At the end, you see it, one of the agents going towards them. I'm like, oh, look, finally someone's reacting. But he just walks right past them. And I'm like, holy cow, like that must have been such a hopeless feeling for her boyfriend, right? Like it's terrible. His name, by the way, is Christian Coleman. I really, truly hope that he leaves her after this. He's been trying to defend her. She got arrested. He doesn't want to press any charges. He doesn't want for this to escalate. And that's his own business, right? This is very typical of the DV victims. But I hope that at the end of the day, at the very, very least, he leaves her because she's a very toxic, unhealthy partner. The way she just followed him around. That video was over a minute long. It was 1 minute and 15 seconds. And I imagine some of the drama started well before that and continued well after that, right? Like it was really, honestly, really sad to watch that go down and to see how helpless he was. Like he had to go towards those agents. And mind you, there's always someone facing both ways, meaning that there were agents who watched this happen and did nothing. And he had to go towards them, hoping that they would break this up. And they still didn't do anything. It's just that Sha'Carri finally realizing that she's in a damn airport and this could get her on the no-fly list, that's when she finally stopped, right? But no, it's not because anybody did anything. Nobody from security, none of the police, and every airport has police, right? Like it's so sad. I really do feel absolutely terribly for him. By the way, thank you guys so much for all of your birthday wishes for Trin over aujourd'hui today. Winnie the Cat says it's like Kung Fu Port would remember how she openly mocked Andrew, saying, "Who would believe you?" Yeah, that's what it really feels like, right? Like violence against men is not taken seriously. And this was a really good example of that. Like, it's crazy to me that you got over a dozen like agents, security agents in a airport, and not a single one of them does anything to break up an instance of DV. Ali says, I don't think she was loud enough to get the attention of other people. If you look around at the other people, buyers, only a few indicated acknowledgement of the situation. So maybe that's it, right? Maybe she wasn't yelling or screaming, but the way that she was just kind of like stalking him, moving, shoving him. You even see him like get pushed like relatively far in one of the moments towards like the column and everything. It was really, really not good, right? Jody says, need to make noise. The louder you get, the more attention you'll see, and I feel like for him as a man, like trying to protect her, like knowing that this could be like very serious and maybe protect himself. He didn't want for it to be front page news that his girlfriend hits him or that his girlfriend shoves him or anything like that, right? Like maybe there's a certain level of shame in men of being victims of DV, right? So just really, really painful. Becky says it's hard to watch, and she does that in public at the airport. What is she doing when no one is around? And that's what I worry about, right? Like, if you feel this emboldened in public, it cannot be the first time you do this. And, like this is probably you thinking that you're toning things down. So it is scary to imagine what she's like behind closed doors. And I agree, B-Wise, this is 100% assault. It's not okay. Nobody stopped it. He was running away. Like watching this was really sad. And it just kept going and going and going. Like, why is it he had to go towards security? to make her like realize like, hey, I should probably stop. There's a bunch of cops and security agents around me. And still, why was that not enough for security to jump in? Like they were just looking at them. Rancher says no one wants to get involved in other people's business, too scared to do anything. And that's something I can understand too, especially at the airport and whatnot. But still, it's really painful, honestly, because, the people who are paid to be in people's business, right? To tell me how many, milliliters of liquid or whatever I can carry, they don't care if somebody's getting like, assaulted by their partner or whoever right next to them. That's crazy, right? And if he reacts to defend himself, exactly, right? And he did a really good job trying to just get her away. He didn't push her hard or anything like that, but she just kept on following. And that is so freaking sad. Kaylin says, this is why mental health is so important. Why does she think this is okay, period? Then in the public, at an airport, where you report everything you see. Exactly. Like she's not, listen, I kind of feel a little bit vindicated as a day one Sha'Carri hater. I don't like her. Like, sometimes there are people where you just don't like them. And it's not for any reason in particular. She was one of those people for me. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe my intuition was spot on about you being, off, like just bad vibes all the way around. Like just a very sad situation. Very sorry to have seen it happen. I hope that her boyfriend is in a good place. I hope that his family and friends can really, truly encourage him to get away from this toxic woman, because what happened there was completely unacceptable. And I don't believe that's the first time that she's ever put her hands on him. She was way too freaking comfortable. Allie says, I don't think that altercation was a noisy one, even though she put hands on him. The public didn't indicate awareness of the situation occurring. Yeah, so I do agree that it had to have been quiet or something, but I feel like enough people were like, kind of like, I don't know, like, it's so weird. It's a really weird situation. Kristen said, but for me, the thing that's most upsetting is the agents. There's like half a dozen of them at least, and not a single one reacted in any reasonable way. Kristen said, some people just walk around not paying any attention to their surroundings. Maybe that's it too. Right. But there's a moment where they're like, he's getting away from her and she's like going after him, shoving him. And then he's trying to get away backwards or something. And then he almost runs into this couple and they exchange the whole, my bad, and keep going. I'm like, y'all, you don't see what's happening over here? Like that is absolutely insane. Oh, anyway, listen, why don't we pick things back up with, well, actually, we're not picking things back up, unfortunately, because we're not getting into the Nathan story just yet. I do want to talk to you guys about the passing of Kelly Clarkson's husband, Brandon Blackstock. So just yesterday, it was announced, Thursday, it was announced on Kelly Clarkson's Instagram page that she was going to be canceling the rest of her Vegas or postponing residency. She said that although she's been trying to keep her personal life private and personal, things have been going on with the father of her children, Brandon. And then later on that day, we find out that he had passed away, and the whole thing is just absolutely devastating. Kelly Clarkson's ex-husband and her former manager was suffering in secretly, right, from the public anyway, from melanoma, which is a very serious form of skin cancer. And in fact, when Kelly made the announcement about struggling with like her children's father and his health and stuff, he had already passed away. He passed away yesterday morning, right? And he had been battling the disease for about 3.5 years. So the statement that announced his passing reads, and I quote, "It is with great sadness that we share the news that Brandon Blackstock has passed away. Brandon bravely battled cancer for more than 3 years. He passed away peacefully and was surrounded by family. We thank you for your thoughts and prayers and ask everyone to respect the family's privacy during this difficult time." So very devastating for Kelly's entire family. My heart is with her children during this time. It's I cannot even begin to imagine what it is that they're going through. Cami says, poor River Rose and Remington, rest in peace to their dad. Rest in peace indeed. Honestly, like this past month or these past few weeks, like people in the public eye have been dropping like flies, right? Like we had Malcolm Jamal Warner, we had Hulk Hogan, we had Ozzy Osbourne. Now we've got Brandon as well. And I think there have been even more people in this span of time as well. And so it's all just so freaking sad, honestly. Like I really, really hate to see this happening to so many people and so many families being devastated by the passing of their loved ones. As Stephanie says, was this her ex that was abusive? I don't know if he was abusive or anything like that, but because I don't know the full details of their relationship. I do know, though, remember seeing or reading that there was a lot of struggle over her money. So he got a pretty good deal in terms of how much money he got to walk away with in the divorce. And so I remember that being like a really big deal. But other than that, I'm not sure about like whatever might have happened, if there was abuse, infidelity, or anything like that. I'm not too knowledgeable. Len says that's why people should be more careful judging people. And that's the thing, right? Because speaking of this, there were quite a few people who were upset when Kelly announced that she's going to be postponing. Like some people were saying like, oh, like I bought my tickets. I was excited. I got my hotel. I got my this, my that. Meanwhile, her ex is dying and, you know, her children's father is dying, right? Like, yeah, like it's a lot, right? So I do think that people can kind of be a little bit more empathetic, you know, when it comes to celebrities. I think people forget that they are real people. They can get hurt, they can die, their loved ones can get hurt, their loved ones can die, right? Like a lot of things go into being a person, into a human and whatnot. And so I think, you know, because we have such a big grandiose view of them, which is normal, we kind of forget that they really are just everyday people, right? Who go through tragic moments just like anybody else. And so I'm really sorry for Kelly, and I'm really, really, really sorry for her family as well. This is a very, very, very heartbreaking, devastating situation. So may Brandon rest in peace, and, you know, sending all the best vibes in the world to their kids so that they're able to get through this as best as they can. Just very, 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 very devastating. You guys, why don't we get into the Nathan exclusive? Okay. So Nathan Griffith, as we talked about in yesterday's episode of The Morning Report, he had his wife send a message to all of us on his behalf on Instagram, thanking her for being a loyal and dutiful wifey. Okay. So basically he was saying that, you know, her loyalty is beautiful. She's not going to just go ahead and give up on the marriage. She's supporting him, yada, yada, yada. In fact, I'm going to pull up the exact receipts here for you guys so that we can get it exactly in his words from what it was that he posted on his Instagram. So I was really curious about all this. Like, I just did not understand the dynamics of this marriage. And so listen, I had to go to the source, May, to ask a few questions, and she was actually really nice enough to respond to me. And I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys her perspective. So the first post said, cherish love, find that person you know that will always stick by you regardless of the circumstances, right? So, and then she says, he asked me to post this pic, repost this pic. And then later when she posted it to her Instagram stories, another caption was added at the bottom. And this time, the caption says, only people who know what loyalty and real commitment is could understand why we are still supporting our marriage. You know, and I'm like, okay, loyalty, real commitment. Meanwhile, you're in jail. Your wife is writing this post, yet you're in jail for beating up your girlfriend. But we don't know loyalty and we don't know commitment. Okay, let me go over to Miss Loyalty and see what's going on. So here I am in May's DMs. Thank you, May, for responding to me. Here I am, you guys. I said, hey, May, thanks for accepting my request. If you don't mind me asking, do you and Nathan have an open marriage? And she responds, hello, Grace. Not at all. It's not an open marriage. We were separated. He made a huge mistake looking for nothing special around. Damn, not nothing special. And now we're trying to restore our marriage. So it seems as though they were on the verge of breaking up when Nathan had a new girlfriend. Can I ask you guys if you believe that or not? Because I'm not so sure. Because he's been with this girl for a really long time, the girlfriend. So I don't know. Like, I still get the vibe that this is some kind of like arrangement or open marriage or whatever. But listen, I had to go back and ask some more questions, right? Listen, I've got some co-reporters to report back to. I'm going to ask the question. So I said, oh, wow. Thanks for clarifying. You're such a forgiving person. Are you able to speak to him often while he's in custody? And she says, people do not take marriages seriously. I speak for myself. For me, it's for better or worse. It's a commitment. I came from an amazing family with values, morals, and integrity. My vows were genuine, and that's why I'm still supporting my marriage. People talk so much without knowing exactly what really happened. They're just fans. Of course, I talk to him all the time. So listen, he gets to talk and call and talk to his wifey on the phone. She is sticking with him. She said, for better or worse, strangled her breathing. I'm there. And that's essentially it. Listen, she's a very lovely lady. I did respond back. I forgot what I said to her, but I'm still trying to get a little bit more information about the nature of this marriage and relationship, what exactly went down that caused for them to be on a break or have some sort of a separation that allowed for Nathan to have a full-blown girlfriend, and how exactly she was able to forgive him after he did that. And I'm kind of low-key wondering if she had a boyfriend on her side. Because listen, you got to cheat back, girls. Don't let these men play with you. If they're going to cheat on you, you got to cheat back, and you got to cheat better. Cheat with their daddies. Better yet, cheat with their brothers. Better yet, cheat with their best friend, dad and brother, all at the same time. No, I took it too far. I was not serious. Laura says, oh, good God. Using TBI as an excuse for years when I've had one that's significantly worse, and don't use it as an excuse for anything. And that's the thing. Like, they're always, when it comes to Nathan and why he's strangling women, he's never strangling men, especially not men as muscular as he. It's always young, innocent, defenseless women, and somehow it's because of the TBI. Amy says, he was loyal to Anastasia. Exactly, right? Like, loyal to his girlfriend, not you, boo. Ali says, I wasn't expecting Nathan to be such a comedian. The lies he tells on social media is almost laughable. Isn't it crazy? Like, and the fact that, like, his wife, who seems like a lovely enough lady, is the one out here, like, posting this stuff. Like, yeah, y'all don't understand a thing about marriage. Like, oh, God, really? That's crazy. She is really freaking nice, you guys. I'm telling you, she's a really, really nice girl. So, I really hope for the best for her. I told her to stay safe, right? Because, listen, Nathan is the town strangler. Like, I don't love this marriage or relationship for her. I would have wanted better for her, but she seems to be really committed to staying in it. So I'm just like, girl, stay safe. Truly, while he's in jail, at least like take up martial arts classes or something like that, because I don't trust Nathan as a person. I don't think he's ever going to change, to be honest with you guys. Right? Allie. Let me put them back up just for you, boo. Avi says, Janelle had a better engagement ring from him than that. Damn, not y'all coming for the rings. What did the rings do to you guys? And listen, Janelle has such a collection of engagement rings. I can't even remember which one was from which person. This is absolutely crazy. I did like her engagement ring from, who is that guy? The one who kills dogs? From that guy. I think she got, let me see, Janelle Evans engagement rings, because we have to look at all of them, right? Oh, voilà. Yeah. That one was pretty good. I liked her pear one from the dog killer. That was a good one. Man, this girl has had like 5 engagements from what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Gary, Cortland, and then 2 are blank right now because I'm waiting for the page to load up, right? Nikki isn't feeling it. I'm not either. Listen, May seems like a lovely, lovely lady, and I really, really do want better for her. So I'm really quite disappointed that she's sticking with this. But again, hopefully she stays safe moving forward, because there's just such a huge risk when it comes to being with Nathan. Right now, she's safe because he is locked up, thank God. However, it's very nerve-wracking to imagine what could potentially happen. In fact, May has actually got her own DV charges due to an altercation that she had with Nathan, right? So it feels like Nathan and all of his toxicity and all of his violence brings out the worst in pretty much everybody that he gets with. And she is no exception, unfortunately, right? So hate to see it, honestly. Do you guys know the story about how these two met? Like, where did this even come from? How did they meet? Now he can, exactly, right? Like, he wants the conjugal visit, the girlfriend on the side. Like, he really gets to have his cake and eat it too. And I really hate that. Like, why is he able to, like, skirt responsibility just so freaking easily? Why are women here to pick up the pieces to excuse him and whatnot? Like, that's crazy. It absolutely is. Oh, you know how I was telling y'all, like, if the man cheats, you got to cheat back, cheat with his daddy, brother, and his best friend. Steph said, let me do you one better. Cheat with his barber. Now, that would be absolutely freaking hilarious. Listen, you guys, I do have the collage. Since we're talking about the rings here, I have a collage that I found on Google Images of all of Janelle's rings, so we can compare it to the rings. We're so messy. Why are we so damn messy? Here we are. Like, what does this have to do with anything, right? Nothing, but I love it, right? It's just, it has mess to do with everything. That's it. And that's all we need. So these are the photos of some of Janelle's engagement rings. So the first one is from Gary, Princess Cut. Second is the set from Cortland. I think they did actually full-blown get married. What is this, channel set? Then she got this from Nathan. Oh, you guys like the one that Janelle got from Nathan? To me, it's very clunky. I really don't like it at all. Hang on, let me zoom in. Maybe my eyes are bad. because I don't like this at all. It's just so clunky. It's just too much metal for me personally. I'm not a fan of it. I think hers from David was probably her best engagement ring. Though, did she change it? Because it didn't look like this from what I remember. I remember it being a pair, but this one in the photo doesn't really look like that. So now I'm going to compare the bottom left, because you guys are saying, well, some of you guys are saying that the ring that Janelle got from Nathan is prettier than the ring that May got. So let's compare this bottom left circle with the halo to whatever this is. I didn't even get a closer look at the other engagement ring, to May's engagement. Is this actually May's engagement ring, or is it a stock photo? I'm sorry, y'all. I think May's is better. I do. Neither of them are my style, but I will say that I do think that May's is a prettier ring. And I do agree with Allie that the rings in this photo appear to be quite dirty. I think they could benefit from a good deep cleaning. Oh my God. The mess. I absolutely love it. Lex says Nathan's ring looks like a Super Bowl ring. Exactly. No thanks. I don't like these. I like things to be kind of like simple, dainty and whatnot. Not really like, you know, all this stuff going on. Deshauna doesn't like it either. Womp, 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 womp. Janelle, Nikki says, Janelle, Thanos Evans. Yeah, catch all the rings. She, J-Lo, who else is in that club? Oh, Kim Kardashian. Like, you know, they just want to collect the ring. They don't care if the relationship's not going to work or whatever. They just want to collect that damn ring. I guess they're called magpies, those sorts of people. Oh, anyway, listen, this is not the end of the Teen Mom news, you guys. We do also have to talk about former Teen Mom 2-star V. Rivera, who is wife to Kale Lowry's inaugural baby daddy, Joe Rivera. She actually posted a video to her Instagram that I found to be rather curious, especially considering the fact that it was liked by Kale Lowry's former live-in nanny turned arch nemesis, nanny Natalie. In this video, you've got V doing her makeup. It's called a Get Ready With Me. She's doing her makeup, but she's talking about how she developed discernment and how it's become so much easier for her to cut people out of her life, right? And so take a look at this video and let me know if you think, even suspect a little bit, that she's talking about her former best friend, Alessandra. They even had a podcast together called Vibin' and Kind of Thriving. V decided to quit that podcast. V unfollowed Alessandra on Instagram. So all signs point to a feud between the two ladies. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have stayed friends with Alessandra either, right? Alessandra is employed by Petty Betty, Kale Lowry, but she just has gotten just way too entrenched in Kale's life and podcasts and whatnot. And Kale was obviously using her to get under V's skin, and she fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. And she just became a sycophant to this woman, and V had to cut her off. And now take a look at V explains cutting people off. And let me know what you think in the live chat if you're watching live, or in the comment section if you're part of my playback posse.
Get ready with me as we talk about the gift of discernment. So if you're anything like me, you've spent a majority of your life people pleasing. It literally does nothing but drain you and serves everybody else but you. A lot of the times I would just say yes out of guilt, or I just didn't want people to be mad at me. Now I've entered this era where it's so easy for me to just cut the cord. It feels so freaking weird to finally be able to do that. I don't cry over it or beg people to understand. And for a while there, I was like, is it normal to feel this way? So I asked one of my really close friends, I'm like, am I becoming like cold? Am I just freaking shutting down emotionally? And she was like, V, you are finally trusting your discernment. Discernment is not like judging. You're not judging. You're not being bitter. It's not shutting people out just to punish them or anything. It's just that inner knowing, that inner intuition saying, you know, this person doesn't align with you, or it's even just this space just no longer feels safe. Before, oh my God, before I used to ignore that feeling. Girl, I used to ignore that shit. But I've definitely learned lately, like, the cost of ignoring your gut and that intuition is way too high. And your body knows way before your mind does. It knows who drains you, it knows who disrespects you, it knows who only calls when they need something. I don't know, but sometimes I just be feeling guilty. Like, I feel like if I say no, I owe people an explanation after, and I don't owe shit. And here's the part I feel like nobody really talks about. Like, sometimes you might cut people off and feel nothing. You don't feel sad, you don't feel anger or spiteful, like you just feel done and neutral. And that's really the part that used to scare me, like what I was talking about before. I'd be like, why am I becoming cold? Like, I don't want to be that person. But it's really not that. Like, you're not becoming cold. It's just your nervous system is telling you, thank you, girl. Like, I've been trying to tell you. So if you are in this season of your life, you just feel emotionally done with certain people, you are not cold. Don't think you're being cold. You're just finally freaking listening to yourself. And if you need someone to tell you that's okay, you found her. You don't owe them what they couldn't give you. That's on one bitch. Period. If you like when we have little girl chats like this, stay tuned because I got a big surprise coming.
So there you go. V talks about the breakdown of certain friendships and how she doesn't even miss those ex-friends of hers. To me, very obvious, this is a nod to her feud or her fallout with Alessandra, but maybe you guys think differently. I did see quite a few of you leave comments in the live chat, so let's go ahead and take a look at what you had to say about this situation. Minnie says, I like V, but she hasn't really, done anything she said she was going to do. Wasn't she supposed to put a tea podcast out? Well, that is the thing about V. She doesn't really seem, I don't know, like, she does her videos and her stuff on the Instagram or whatever, but it is true that she doesn't really follow through on certain projects that she promises to launch. But at the end of this Get Ready With Me, she did say, if you enjoy these chit chats or whatever, stay tuned. So maybe that's the kind of tea thing or the chisme thing that she was promising. We'll have to wait and see, but it is true that it would be nice to see her, follow through on something that she's promised, right? Cami says, how does V get caught up with all these toxic people? I did see a comment a little bit earlier, actually, that might respond to yours, Cami. So let me go ahead and pull it back up because I think somebody said that it has something to do with like these kinds of, it was Courtney. Hey, Court. Court had said, V seems like a good person, and unfortunately, manipulators flock to those kinds of people. So maybe that was the reason, right? Because to me, I've only seen her in two fallouts, and they're with Kale and Alessandra. And to be honest, I would have fallen out with Kale too, by the way that she talks about, V's husband and, V as well. And then with Alessandra, I would have done the same thing. I would have cut her off because the way that Alessandra has been so far up Kale's behind after the way that Kale talked about V like a dog on the podcast and kind of called her a crappy, stepmom and everything like that too. Like it was, like it's weird for you as her bestie to be writing for her so badly like that or so hard like that. It was not a good look at all, in my humble opinion. So I can't really say that she's the common denominator and she sucks or whatever, just because listen, I would have done the same thing as her in both situations. What about you guys? Would you have fallen out with Alessandra or a friend like Alessandra if, they started moving the way that Alessandra does, with your enemy, someone who talks crap about you and has made your life hell over the past 16 years. And, would you have fallen out with a baby mama like Kale as well? Listen, he without sin cast the first stone, right? Listen, I'm not casting those stones because I would have cut them out too. Lori says, because she's a sweetheart and people use and abuse and see people who are kind as disposable. And I do think that could be it as well. Courtney says 100% that feeling I get has never been wrong about those people. Scorpios are good about that. Yeah, Virgos maybe too. Yeah, that Scorpio intuition is strong. It is like a sixth sense. Gwen says, highly recommend this advice. I have a relatively peaceful, boring life these days. And that's the way it should be, right? Peace above all else. Linda says, I'm so late. Good morning, Grace. Well, it's nice to see you. Better late than never, Linda. Happy Friday. Good morning, sunshine. Ramster says, by the way, how's Joe's rapping? Listen, he left that. These days, he's a real estate investor. That's his new career. He has a dozen properties. He's doing really well. And some of these are multi-family properties. So he's really, really bringing that money in right now, which thank God, right? Because rapping was not for him. I guess, it's one of those things where looking back, maybe it's just what he needed to do to find V. Because if he didn't try to become a rapper or whatever, he never would have found V. Isn't that crazy to think just one decision, one something could change your life and it's really beautiful. It's a really, really cool thing. By the way, Erin says her birthday's coming up. Listen, Erin, come back and remind us on your birthday so we can play the birthday song for you too. We had so much fun with that today, and I really want to continue to put that to use. Tanisha says, I feel like V probably doesn't want the spotlight after experiencing the drama with Baby Mama's No Drama. That's probably why she hasn't started her own podcast. And maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe Kale's fans are harassing her. Some people are diehard Kale fans to the point where they'll harass people who criticize Kale in any capacity. And V could be on the receiving end of that, and maybe it's something that has scared her out of trying, right? But I think she's like kind of a natural with like this get ready with me format. I thought it was like, very easy to follow. Like I thought she was charismatic and stuff. So I really would like to see her continue on with that. And Courtney, this actually can be similar because somebody else said that like that V never finishes whatever it is that she starts. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but essentially this comment kind of like falls into that, right? Like V let her real estate license expire and everything like that. And she hasn't launched the podcast that she promised and some other things as well. So it is kind of like, okay, well, what's going on? Are you busy with your daughter? Or is it just that you have like something against seeing projects through? I really don't know what that's all about. But I remember it was this whole deal. Didn't she have to lawyer up or something over her real estate? I feel like it was something even more than just letting it expire. Like it was a whole drama. I remember doing a recap about it, but I can't remember what it was exactly. This would have been last year or the year before. I think it was 2 years ago, actually. You have a really good memory, by the way, Court. Laura says mine was over July 31st. Oh, well, happy belated, Laura. I hope you had a great time celebrating. Nicole is on the 13th. I'll remember that birthday song. Yes, please come back. We want to celebrate your birthday with you guys, okay? I love that. And it's Leo season. Listen, these Leo seasons are not going to be shy about their birthdays. That's one thing. Laura says she's probably about burnt out for the moment and needs a time to herself with her family for a bit before starting to do something new. I think so too. Listen, imagine you've been in your stepson's life his entire life since he was a baby, before he could even speak. You stepped up even as a freaking teenager, right? And his mother, instead of just being happy that the son has you as a constant in his life while she's running around with a new man every like year and a half or something, she goes on her podcast, a podcast that you started, to talk crap about you, to say you're a user, you're a liar, you're manipulative, you're a fake stepmom for social media, you're actually a deadbeat stepmom in real life. Like that's something that like takes some time to recover from, right? Like it's a really, really hurtful thing that Kale did to her. So I absolutely would not blame her if she kind of felt off about going back on social media. And mind you, the person who's like, talking so much crap about you publicly, that person has like 3 million followers on just one platform alone. Never mind all of them combined. Like, yeah, that's some scary stuff for sure. Nicole says V should be invited on the cruise. Could you imagine that? Remember, the Teen Mom girlies are doing a cruise together. So there's going to be Caitlin and Tyler. There's going to be Jade and Sean. There's also going to be Janelle, and there's going to be Brianna, and there's going to be Ashley so far. They're still trying to get some other Teen Mom stars to sign on for the cruise. I know Jaleesa had said that she wanted to potentially go and take a look at it, do some on the ground reporting for us. And there was somebody else. I'm closing my eyes trying to remember who it was. There's somebody else. Was it you, Amy? I think it was Amy who was the other person who said that they were going to look into seeing whether or not they could go on the cruise and let us know what's going on. I said, listen, whoever could do it, maybe we could put a nice GoFundMe together, get you those tickets. That would be absolutely hilarious. Live, not tweets, because we're boycotting Musty and his platform. Maybe like live Instagrams or something like that about what's going on, TikToks or something. Would be absolutely crazy about what's happening on this cruise. Laura says, Brianna, Ashley, and Janelle, this won't go well. I'm telling you, you're gonna have Brianna. Can you imagine? This is like Mortal Kombat. You've got Brianna who releases the crickets, right, against her enemies. Then you've got Ashley who will spit on her enemies, and you've got Janelle who will actually like mollywop her enemies, or actually she'll chase them down with a gun, like we saw her do in her road rage incident. Who will win? Ali says, I could see someone getting pushed overboard. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope they have some good insurance for this cruise, because it is not looking good at all. My God. By the way, Gail, best of luck to your daughter, Jenna. I'm so sorry to hear about that, but I'm glad that it's not cancerous, but best of luck to her in her medical journey. That cannot be easy at all. Carly with an I says Leah's participation in the cruise may include those taxes, in my opinion. And I think so too. Don't forget, Leah fell way behind on her taxes, and it doesn't help that she can't even sell the house she lives in order to pay down her taxes, because guess what? Dodo Bird decided to put that house in her ex-boyfriend's name. Mind you, she was dating this guy for a solid like 5-6 months when they bought a house together. People always, act like I'm so mean when I say the girl is I'm not going to say moron, but like when I say that the girl has nothing going on upstairs. How the hell do you not only buy a house with your boyfriend of like 5 months to move in with your kids who've already moved in and lived with several different random men, but then on top of that, you put that house in his name, even though it's your money? What else do you call somebody like that if you don't call them, sorry, but an idiot? Like, oh my God. And so again, she can't even pay off her taxes, sell that house, pay off the taxes because it's in the boyfriend's name. And the only reason she's able to stay in the house that she paid for her with her own damn money is because she's keeping the secret about how her boyfriend, she saw him getting folded like a pretzel or something like that at home. She hinted at it, right? So I'm just saying, but the whole thing is absolutely insane. It's so like, it enrages me, right? Like you're playing with your children's future, dude. Like, what is that? Ramster says, when involved with Kale, at some point, she will pick a fight with you, her, him, and we could be taking bets on when it's Becky's turn. Listen, Becky and Kale, keep an eye on that Frenemies podcast because the way that they kind of low-key squabble on that is actually quite fascinating. Killen says, just had bad vibes about the cruise. What if there's a crazy star? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and mind you, the teen moms are not even being paid really, according to sources at the Ashley. They can only really get paid a little something, a stipend, if they sell enough tickets, right? So we saw Brianna selling her ass off on Instagram Live. So they're doing this for free. Like, not everybody who watches the show or whatever is crazy or a stalker, but there is a risk of that. And they have to be like, you have to have like a certain kind of energy or personality all the time, or else people are going to talk about how you're so mean and how you're so stuck up or whatever on the internet, right? So like, that's just absolutely insane. To do that for free is crazy to me, but I digress. Courtney says, I would say Janella is a bad representation for North Carolina, but she's from the coast, so it's actually pretty accurate. Ooh, Courtney, the coast, they're going to come for you. Be careful, boo. They're going to come for you. Listen, I don't know anything about the coast or anything like that. And by the way, Jaleesa, you have just been our travel girl, and I love it. Jaleesa just came back from Rome, and she was traveling all over the U.S. for Beyonce. She was supposed to come to Paris for Beyonce, and now she's planning to come to Paris, apparently, and she's about to do this cruise. Damn, Jaleesa. This is our rich aunt over here. I love it. Love, 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 love that. Lex says, and this is about Leah, by the way. I mean, I kind of guess she wasn't too bright when she gave the twins almost the exact same name. I am telling you, honestly, and it's so sad. I find it to be just so freaking sad and disappointing. She should have done so much more. She had every opportunity to educate herself and to just, learn, but she just doesn't want to. I will give her props though, because she did get her real estate license, and that's nice. And this is the thing, human. Why, when you do clownery, when you do shady things, the clown comes back to bite. Because why are you trying to buy this massive house that isn't even handicap accessible for your handicapped daughter when you should be paying your taxes? You have $200K or $100K cash, and instead of putting it towards your massive tax bill, you put it towards the house to impress your boyfriend of 5 months. Not smart at all. Anyway, listen, y'all. I'm making peanut butter cookies today. I think I told you guys yesterday I was supposed to go to the museum, but I was so exhausted. We didn't go to the museum. We went out to dinner. And then you could see this on my Instagram stories, by the way. Then we went out to Montmartre. Something that's so beautiful about here is that you just walk, you see where the streets take you, and you end up in, any beautiful neighborhood. There are 20 neighborhoods in the city of Paris, and you'll always end up in a beautiful one, right? So we found ourselves in Pigalle. Not Pigalle, pardon. Not Sacré-Cœur. We did go up to the Sacré-Cœur as well, and it's really beautiful at night, but we don't want to hang out there because it's not really like, a local thing, right? So we went to the side of that area in Montmartre, and there was like this beautiful like local brewery, and there was like a jam session. They were playing some blues, they were playing some soul, they were playing some rock, a little bit of everything, and it was a lot of fun. I got to try one of like their non-alcoholic beers, and it was really good. That's the first time I've tried that, and I really like it. I think I'm going to stick to that, moving forward. So really cool, really fun stuff. Today, what am I up to? I'm making peanut butter cookies, going out for dinner again, and going to find like a nice lounge just to drop it like it's hot, y'all. It's Friday night. What do you want from me? Anyway, listen, y'all, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend as well, as usual. And Akeisha, I'm sorry, I'm signing off. I missed you today. So sorry. And Tyrell as well. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of The Morning Report. Per usual, I go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. Bye, guys.